Hey guys, Link here, coming at you guys with day number 8 of building my own productivity app. I skipped a couple of last few days because I've been busy with stuff and I've just been working on building out more complete features, and I decided to just kind of make a more thorough video, at least now. So a lot of things have changed. I've been working on it pretty much almost like 9 to 10 hours a day, so making a lot of good progress. The first thing I want to show is it's now a built-in electron app. So now I'm able to, it's going to be a desktop form eventually. So you can kind of see it kind of looks like this. Before I go into that, I wanted to kind of just quickly point out that it's now on link115.com. I bought a domain name and I was just playing around with changing around DNS settings so that later on in the future, if I do ever go to market, I'll be able to have this domain name just all set up and easy to change, which is going to be important for marketing purposes, right? So the things that I've worked on, I'm gonna go down this list that I have here that I created. I pretty much changed most of how user authentication works in the backend. There was quite a bit of changes that I had to do, and the main reason was that I've pretty much decided that this isn't going to be a personal app no longer. It's pretty much going to be an app where I want to share and sell. So it doesn't make sense for me to only have one login anymore, right? So I need to be able to handle user auth, be able to have other people sign up. So there were a lot of backend changes made in almost all of these pretty much like widgets applications. So now that we need to be able to hold and store data individually amongst different users. So you can see in my table here pretty much like I have a bunch of like data that's being passed in, and then they're all attached to the user ID. So everyone that's a separate user will now have their own data stored into the backend. I'm actually not sure if this is the proper way and the safest way to do it, but I think this makes the most sense. It's just you just have a user ID and then you can serve the data that way, right? I probably need to I'll do a security audit at some point later on, and if I need to make changes and do a whole refactor, then I'll do so. But I'm pretty sure like this should be fine. Yeah, you can see my database has gotten a lot bigger. I pretty much made a table for everything, and the reason is that before a lot of these things like the blog, I don't know, like the dashboard, like the habits and things like that. A lot of these things we were able to pretty much move or store them locally on our Obsidian page, right? So our Obsidian library was the source of truth, but now it is no longer the case. Now we need to create tables for everything. So that's pretty much what I went ahead and did. The other thing I did in terms of as I was refactoring pretty much most of the backend, I also made the API, the routes much more RESTful. This was done not just for mainly for me to be able to stay organized, and then also to make sure that the AI itself and the future AI that works on the project, it doesn't get confused and it doesn't like kind of create a bunch of unnecessary folders and files. It's really important in order to maintain maintain an organized and RESTful API endpoints so that you can reuse endpoints when necessary, and you can add and quickly change when necessary. And then also when you refactor as well, you can pretty much easily go through the code base and figure out like what needs to be added, changed, and whatnot. So an example would be like, before we would probably just have an endpoint that calls create profile, right? And then we would also have an endpoint that calls like edit profile. But this kind of creates a lot of issues. Again, especially when you want to expose endpoints in the future for other people to use potentially. So if they want to integrate with your app, instead you set up this this RESTful type of structure such that it'll just be able to be scaled. So let's go into the app itself in terms of what I've been working on. So if you go to the dashboard itself, you can see here there's a lot more widgets and things like that. I really had this this was like my vision in the beginning of what I wanted this app to look like. And the idea is that you have these widgets that you can just kind of drag around and have it like organized in terms of like what you want it to be. So we can also even resize them and things like that. You can delete them if you want to. So it's kind of nice. At least I personally really like it a lot. So, the whole point of this app is to be very, very customizable, because not everyone's productivity hub is going to look the same. Everyone is going to value different things, right? Some people are going to be more workout focused. Some people are going to be more like studying focused. So they want to like have maybe like scheduling and things like that, or like a to-do list. Like those things are going to be more like prominent in their dashboard. There's going to be a lot more widgets that will be added, but that will be much more. That will be a future project, I would say. How that's going to work is I'm going to be working. I'm going to once I ship this out to production, I'm going to ask for user feedback in terms of like what they want, what they don't want, and then I'll be implementing and iterating through that manner. So some nice things is that now we have most of our widgets have been pretty much fixed up. Another thing I did was I created this task and schedule grid. Before it was kind of like static, but now you're able to, I guess like you're able to just kind of drag through. So if I wanted to create a task like eat dinner, I can create it, and then now I can drag it over here, and it'll populate. So it's a good way. This scheduling grid is only meant for the day-to-day tasks, right? So it's not meant to be like a calendar replacement, because the calendar replacement, most people will already have their own integration, and it's gonna be done through. Okay, that was a bug. that needs to be fixed, but that's funny. Let me go to the actual site because I just set up Electron. So if you go to, everyone has their own like calendar system probably set up already. So I feel like me prioritizing that is me deprioritizing that. It's less important. I feel like calendars and shit like people already like have figured out. So it's not like that important for me to implement and work on. So that's more set up for a different day. Some other things I worked on were I created a settings page, mainly because now we have different user auths. So you're able to upload your own profile picture, and then it's very simple in terms of like the settings, right? Because I want to keep this very simple. No need to make it like fancy or anything like that. I also created a styles page so that people can have different styles. There's some things that need to be fixed here, as you can see, but like if you save it and you sync now, and then we go into like the dashboard and stuff. So the theme itself is getting applied to most places. The newer pages, I need to constantly be updating them. There's some pages that still need to be fixed. You can see here, I think like the font here needs to get fixed, but those are easy changes. I really wanted to just work on creating the biggest features first, and then the bug fixing, the small tickets, those can be resolved later and quickly. So I really like the styles theme quite a bit because it kind of offers a different type of like perspective, I guess. And there's gonna be like nice little like nifty things that I've been thinking about. There's like auto theme switching, so going from light to dark mode depending on the time. And maybe like in the very, very far future, like having people be able to customize and create their own themes. The third thing is you can see that there's still this Obsidian integration tab here. First and foremost, I created this project. The intention was to work with Obsidian as like this was supposed to supplement Obsidian's powerful like I guess like existence or whatever. Like you use it side by side. So the general thought process behind what I'm trying to do now is that when a user signs up and onboards onto my website, they'll have a choice between two flows. One flow is to go through Obsidian, so then that they can use Obsidian as their kind of like database, their source of truth, so that you can create your blog and stuff like that. You can write all your contents in here, and then it'll just auto populate into the website. And then the nice thing about the website or the web app is that most of these features are already built out for you, so that you don't have to go out and do them. The second flow would be you just don't use Obsidian at all, and so all your data would be on the cloud, and then that's a choice that people could make, because not everybody uses Obsidian, right? So I need to make sure and think about that target audience, because the I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but in my head, like the way I envision it is that, there's like 100% of the population, and probably like 5% of the population use Obsidian, right? And if I'm just limiting my app to only use and target the 5% of the entire population who's then like in terms of like making money and things like that, that's not a very good idea. That's a terrible idea. That's like the worst idea that you can ever do, right? So this is like my way of kind of compromising, where like I want to keep my workflow to work with Obsidian and the Vault, which might be a bit more kind of like might be more cumbersome in order to set up, because you need to set up like your Vault path, you need to install the proper templates, you need to have the right folder directories. But then that option will always be there for people who go down that route. So that's still going to be that's going to require a lot of planning and like thinking and making sure that none of these workflows like kind of break. But it's that's going to be my main focus, and I'll be trying to fix that in the next couple of days, because I feel like once I get that done, then I feel like this product is pretty much almost ready to ship. So that's kind of where my head's at. Some other things I added were I added a photos page. So now I'm able to upload my media and things like that. Mainly this was just created because I feel like everyone has like iCloud and Photos, Google Photos, but then there's a couple of pictures that you really really like, right? And most of the times those pictures get uploaded to like Instagram or things like that. But then for myself, like I've started to use Instagram less and stuff, and I really wanted a way for me to categorize my pictures. The reality is that, like, yes, I can do that on Google Photos, but then the reality also is that I have to go to Google Photos in order to do that, and I'd rather just have a single place where I can do everything. So I went ahead and just made this. So you're able to share, you're able to create shareable links, so that the public can view, that your friends can view, and so on and so forth. The other thing I did was I created a watch list of TVs and movies. Just kind of something simple for me to kind of have a source, like a diary in a sense. This pretty much goes along with how the recipes, the food recommendations, that type of things work. So I might move some of that into here, or at least like condense that, but we shall see. So I think that's in the journal, right? So like journal has the food recs and the recipes. So I might move the TV and movies into here, but we'll see. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of what I've gotten done. I've created a roadmap here for myself. This is just how I've just been organizing and figuring out like what things to work on. This list is always expanding, like I've previously talked about. I've also separated them into 3 categories in terms of easy, medium, and hard. And this is pretty much determined by what I feel like is the most, like what will take the most time, right? Like setting up a mood and energy tracker will probably take like 20 minutes to get up and going. It's something very simple of like recording and clicking a button like, oh, today I was happy, today I was sad, medium, quick notes. Notes requires like a database, a table to be created, and then like how you gotta think about like what the UI is gonna look like, where it's gonna go, like what's the point of even creating something like this. So the other things I need to do is create a customer feedback page for my future customers, if they do exist, such that I need a way for me to get criticism or advice or like things that they want to see. I need to be able to see a place where I can like communicate with them. So this might just be a Discord channel, honestly. It might not even have to be like a customer feedback page. It might be like done through emails. We'll see. Once that's done, I need to redesign the landing page. This is mainly focused towards like marketing and things like that, because when it comes from a marketing standpoint, you need to make sure there's like it's not like a time to kill, but it's like a time to convince. Okay, when the customer clicks on the ad, you only have like a very few seconds before you can really convince them to click on that ad and then try to use your app, right? So the whole like conversion process, from the ad itself, what it looks like, the video, the catchphrase, the hook, when they land onto the site, those are all really important. Those are going to be probably where most of my thinking and like what is the most optimal process is going to be. Most of this is like new because I've never done this, because my previous roles weren't to become, I wasn't in marketing, I wasn't in sales. So this is going to be kind of like a fun project. I've been doing a lot of research on that. I've been kind of creating notes and things like that, and I'll probably share most of that process once I get it going, and hopefully it works out. So yeah. Before I do go like live, there's a couple of things that are very important that I want to get completed that will probably take up quite a bit of time actually. One is the performance audit. I need to make my site efficient, fast. I want to reduce API calls that get created. The AI itself probably writes a lot of inefficient code. So I need to go back and really just review. So this will just be kind of like me pretty much like reading through the code base and like really understanding like what it's doing, how it's doing things, how it's performing certain actions. And then that's the audit. At the same time, it's going to be a security audit, making sure nothing, is going to, no hacks are going to happen, stuff like that. Privacy audit at the same time, very simple, no data being exposed. And then after that, some of the nicer to haves are going to be writing unit tests for each feature, so that when I do go live and then when I do add new or I guess like new features or refactor, it doesn't break the whole site. And unit tests are going to be very important for that, which I'm not sure if AI is able to do. So we'll see if they'll be able to do that. Ideally, I should have started with this in the beginning, but yeah, like writing tests take a long time and nobody likes doing them. And it turns out, I guess like AI doesn't even like doing them because it's not even doing them. It's kind of funny. And then finally, it's going to be creating a CI/CD for product launch and iteration, because I've just been working off my master branch this entire time, and that's not very good engineering, I would say, especially when you go live to prod. Yeah, you definitely need a CI branch and things like that. So I'll need to go look into how to set that up. It's gonna be a bit more DevOps work, but it shouldn't be too bad because I have kind of worked in that space. So all in all, quite a bit of things that have been accomplished. Looking forward to what's going to happen. I really am liking how this desktop app is showing. So there's gonna be, I need to notarize it onto the Mac App Store, and then I need to just iron out some workflows. But yeah, looking good so far. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty amazing what you can do within a week of I don't know, just vibe coding and I guess just thinking and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Pretty long video. If you guys stuck around, leave a like, subscribe, or a comment, and watch out for more future videos. I'll probably do more cleaner videos in the future. All right, bye bye.